Okay, so in yesterday's session, we have discussed about how to combine the data in three methods. So there are three different ways where we can combine the data by using relationship model, which is a logical layer. And the other one is joins, which is a physical layer. And we also have one more method, which is data blending. So these are the only three methods which we use to combine the data, even from the different data sources. So you can connect or you can do relationship or joins or data blending from different data sources also. Let's say from Oracle you have table A, and from SQL you have table B. So you can combine from different data sources also, even from the same data source also you can combine. So all these combinations are available in these three methods. So today we are going to discuss about parameters. So parameter is to pass the values to calculations, filters, reference lines. So we can pass the values to the calculations and filters. So what kind of values we can pass? So we can pass string, we can pass numbers, numerical numbers. It can be a float, it can be an integer. We can pass date. So all the different data types we can pass. So we will see one by one how we can pass the values to the calculations and filters and to the reference line. So let's say we have data, we have some 10 columns and 10,000 rows, 10K rows. Okay, so and you want to create something which is not there in the data. So if you want to create something which is not there in the data, is possible only because of parameters. And we can pass these values to calculations and filters so that we can modify the calculation. So every time we don't need to go to calculation and we don't need to edit the calculation. So without doing that, we can modify the calculations. So now let's see how to create a parameter and what is the use of parameter. So I'm opening or I'm connecting to sample superstore data source. So here I will connect to customer name, and sales. So earlier we have discussed about parameter. So we have discussed only a few things about parameter. So now let's see. So we'll see completely about parameter and how it works. So click on this. So you have an option called create parameter. So now I'm gonna create a top 10 or I want to see top 10 customers. And I want to control the top 10, or I want to see top n customers. I want to control that n based on this parameter. So you got a requirement. So requirement is to create top n customers. Top n customers. So n can be selected by user. So n is now parameter. It is a parameter now. So I'm going to create a parameter for n, so that if user want to see top 5, So in parameter, he will select 5 and he should be able to see top 5. If user select top 10, the value if he selects as 10, so he should be able to see top 10. So now let's see how we can do that. So in data types, we have these many data types. So as we discussed, we can pass float values, integer, string, boolean, date and time. So now, so I'm going to pass this n value. So n every time it should be a 1, 2, 3. It is an integer basically. It cannot be in 0.5. There will not be any top 10.5 customers. So we can't make customer into half. So there will be, it will be an integer number. So let's take integer. And so here we can select range. So minimum 1 to, starting from 1 to 100. So select OK. So parameter is created. So you can see select value parameter here, show parameter, and click on this drop down, select type in. So here you can enter specific whatever value that you want to enter. So the n that I have mentioned, if I want to enter 10, I can enter. And if I want to see 15, I can see 15. But this top, I can see all the customers here. So I can see 800 customers, whatever is there. So even if I change here, nothing is changing in the worksheet. So I have to interlink, or I have to connect this parameter with the data. So to connect this parameter with the data, so I have to apply a filter. So customer name filter I have to add. So here I can select top 5. So as we discussed while we were discussing about filters, so we have discussed here we can enter a specific value. So if I apply this, so I can see top 5 customers. And user can't see this window. So this is only accessible to the developers. So user can't go here and enter the value. And now let's see if I try to enter 10. So I will be able to see 10. Just a second. Yeah. So if I want to see top 10 customers, so usually as a developer, we can edit it here. But so while we are presenting it to the user, so user cannot see that window which we can see. So if I put it in the presentation mode, so user will only see this sheet and the parameter. So user can only enter. So this parameter is not reacting with the worksheet. So what I have to do is I have to use this parameter in the filter. So if you click on this drop down, so here it will show you the list of parameters that are created. So you can see the parameter that I have created is shown here. So you can select here, select value is a parameter that I have created. So you can click on this and say OK. So if I change this to 2, so I can see top 2 customers. So I'm passing this value to this filter so that I can see the top 2 customers. So if I enter 10, so I should be able to see top 10. So this is for top n. And now let's do for bottom n. Bottom n. So instead of top, instead of selecting top here, select bottom, say OK. So these are your bottom values and these are your top values, top customers. So if you change it to 15, here it will show bottom 15 customers. If you go to this one, it will also show you bottom 15 customers. But actually what I want to see is top and bottom end. So for that, I have to create a set. So create set, go to top and select value and make this as top n. Say OK. And make a duplicate of this one and edit this and instead of top, make it as bottom, and rename this as bottom end, and say okay. So as we discussed earlier, so these two sets needs to be combined. So top and bottom end, I have created two different sets. So right click on this and create a combined set and name it as top and bottom end set. And I want all members in both the sets. So I'll select this one. So there will be no common points in that. So based on the Venn diagram, I will select this all members in both sets and say okay. And now I'll use customer name and sales. So here it is showing 800 customers, but I want to see top end and bottom end. So I'll use the set which I have created. I'll put it in the filter. So it will show me top end and bottom end. So I can control that by using a parameter, show parameter. So if I enter, so click on this drop down and select type in. And if you enter 2, so you can see top 2 and these are your bottom 2. If you enter 5, you should be able to see top 5 and bottom 5. So this way we can pass the values to filters. We can pass the values to filters. So now I'm going to show you. So in interview, you might get a question like how to create top and bottom end by using sets. And there will be one more question, how to create. So I'll give you one more requirement. How to create top end and bottom end using calculations. So using calculation also we can create top end and bottom end. So I'll show you how to create using calculation. So all these are based on sets. So this is based on filter actually. So in filter you can keep one at a time. So you cannot show top and bottom together. So to showing bottom end also we have used filter. So only the filter we have used, the dimension filter. But to create top and bottom end set, so we have used sets to get this output. So now I'll create one more sheet where I'm going to create top and bottom and using calculation. So now let's see how we can create top and bottom end using calculation. So I'm taking customer in. Hope you're aware why this number is coming. So let's say 25,000, or let's discuss about this sysman. So if I go to this one, and so if I sort it based on this, if I check for the customer name, so let's pick one customer. So let's sort it based on the, let's remove the sorting. Let's take Aaron Bergman, got $86 of sales. So how he is getting $86 is, so Aaron Bergman has these many rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 rows for him. And what is the sales amount? So it is, this is the amount, this is the amount that he spent while purchasing the products. So the total sum of all this is nothing but this $888, $886. So like that, for each and every customer, so there will be some number of records will be there, and all those records will be summed up, and you can able to see this number, whatever number is available for each customer. So that is based on the number of records and what for each record will be summed up. So in that, who has the highest sales and all, so we can get it by doing a ascending and descending order. So now I'm going to see top and bottom end using calculation. So let me create a calculation. There is a function called rank of sum of sales. So I will write it over here as well. Rank of sum of sales. So it will assign. So whoever has the highest sales value, so that one will be assigned with the first rank, and the next ones will be assigned in the chronological order. So 1, 2, 3. So it will assign the ranks basically. So, and if I want to find out the top 5, so I should be finding out less than or equal to 5. Then sum of sales. So with this calculation, I can find out top. They apply. Okay. So with that calculation, so I have created this one, and I'm able to see the top 5. So Adrian Burton, so you can see that is getting filtered. So Adrian Burton, Tom Ashbrook. So this is getting filtered. So by using calculation, I'm able to find out the top 5. So now I'll write one more condition to get the bottom 5. So we also need to find out the bottom 5. So for that, so there is one more function like rank. We also have one more function called size. So size is nothing but the number of data points. So there are 800 data points. So when I say data points, so each and every, let's say customer name has one sales and Tamarachand has one sales. So this will become your data point. So like this, we have 800 data points. So that will be stored here. So that is getting stored in the size calculation. So now what I'm trying to find out is, so I'm gonna write one more condition, else if size minus rank of sum of sales less than 5. So this basically gives me the, based on this calculation, it will give me the last bottom 5. So let me just remove. So let's find out by using this one. Control X. So this is for top. So now I'm going to write for bottom. So if size minus rank of sum of sales equal to or less than 5, then sum of sales and so if I apply this, so I should be able to get the bottom 5. So I will tell you why. So let's say 800 is the exact value. Size meaning, so in this particular sheet, size is holding 800 value. Size is holding 800 value. And when will this condition will satisfy? Let's say 800 minus 1. So 800 minus 1 is 799, which is not less than 5. So that means this record will not come, and we don't want that record. So we are trying to find out the bottom ones. So as we are trying to find out the bottom ones, so we don't want the starting numbers. So this condition will not satisfy the above records. So if you do the second one, the rank of sum of sales, which is 2. So if you do it for this one, 800 minus 2, which is 798. So this will not satisfy. So it is not less than 5. 798 is not less than 5. So this condition is not getting satisfied. So I will show you where this condition will satisfy. So that condition will satisfy only in the below 5 rows. So let's take the below ones. So 800 minus rank, take the 800 one. So 800 minus 800, which is 0. It is less than 5. Okay, so till 796. So till 796, it will be true. So 800 minus 796 is 4. So 4 is less than 5. So only for this 4, this 5 records, this condition will satisfy. So now let's see. Now let's apply this and apply this calculation here. So you can see the bottom records here. So if you observe here, so these are the ranks. So only when this condition satisfies, I want the records. So now we'll combine these two records. So this is for bottom. Yeah, Rakesh. 嗯 Yeah, correct. So this condition will satisfy till here only. Only for this 5 records only this condition will satisfy. So if you take 795, so if you take 795, this will become 5, and 5 is not less than 5. 5 is equal to 5, but not 5. 5 is not less than 5. So this condition will start, it will not get approved. So if you take 794 also, so this is 6. So 6 is not less than 5. So this condition will satisfy only for these 5 records, and we want that records. So bottom 5 records, we are trying to get it. So that condition will satisfy. Yeah. The 800 is the size of, it's basically the total number of customers. Okay, so yeah, total number of records. Yes. Hmm. So this is basically the rank that I'm subtracting. Okay, so 800 rank. So let's say if you take some MSET ranks or anything, people who get less score will get the highest rank, and people who get the highest score, so they will get first rank, second rank, like that. Okay, so Thais Sisman got 800 as a rank, as he has less sales, very less sales. Okay, so I'm just trying to find out the bottom 5 customers who has very less sales. So I'm just subtracting. So whoever is less than 5, from bottom, so other way around, right? So when you are doing for the top 5, you just need to find out the top ones. So you just need to find out less than or equal to 5, then it's giving you that. But from bottom you want. So if you want from bottom, you have to do other way around. So you have to subtract from the total, and you want the bottom ones. So then you will get. Is it clear? Hmm. No, so these values will be showing. I mean, yes. Okay, let me show you. So instead of sum of sales, you can write true also. Like let's put true or yeah, true. Say apply. So let's use this here. Okay, so now you can see here, right? So that only if this condition is satisfied, I just want to see. So this condition is only true for only these last 5 records. So even you can write true else false. So don't get confused with the sum of sales. You can use sum of sales or you can use any text also. Okay, so if this condition is satisfied, so then it is true. Otherwise, in all the records, it is false. No. So we can do the same for top ones also. So let me show you. So instead of using sum of sales, just write true. Say apply. So yeah, now you see, so it will satisfy only for the first 5 records. So rank is 1. So till 5 only it will satisfy. Wherever it is rank equal to 1, then only it is satisfied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now it started 6. 6 is not less than or equal to 5. So this is not satisfying. So it is false. Okay, so only for these 5 records, it is true. For rest of the records, it is false. Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you can keep true or you can keep sum of sales. Yeah. So if you keep sum of sales also, what it is doing, it is storing these values and it is giving you this. Otherwise, you can put true or if it is getting confused. So you can use write true. When this condition is satisfying, write as true. Otherwise as false. Okay, so let's continue. So I'll just add one more condition here. So I'm gonna add this condition. Yeah, so this is for top 5 and this is for bottom 5. Say apply. So now it is for bottom 5 records, it is true, and for top 5 records, it is true. So if I put this in the filters, and select only true. Okay, so it will show you only the true records. So these are top 5. So you can see the rank also. So in total 800. So these are the top 5 rankers and these are the bottom 5 rankers. Okay, so as we are discussing parameters, so if you see, this is a static value that I have entered here. So instead of static value, so user cannot open this calculation. So as a developer, we can open the calculations and all. We can edit whatever we want to do, but user cannot open the calculation, and every time he can't change it. So let's say if I want to see top two only, I can change it over here, and I can see only top two and bottom two. But I want user to select the values. If he wants to change the value, if he wants to see top three or top five, so he should be able to enter the value. So I will give the same parameter. So this is a parameter that we have created initially. So where we are giving integer, and the user can pass the value starting from minimum 1 to 100, and select type in value. So instead of scroll bar, you can just give him the typing. So if you see, it is not changing. So this sheet is not changing. Why? Because we have not we are not passing the value currently. So to pass the values, open that particular calculation, click on this. So instead of this static value, type in the parameter. So parameter will be shown in purple color. So you can see this. Select value. Yeah. So now this will be controlled. So this calculation will be controlled based on the parameter. And we are using that calculation in the filters, and we are using this in the sheet. So with this parameter, so this calculation will change. Because of this calculation, this filter will change. And because of this filter, this worksheet will change. So everything is interconnected. So say okay. So now you can see top 10 and bottom 10. And if I change this to 5, so I can see 5. So it is basically passing the value to this calculation. And I have kept this calculation in the filter. And because of this filter, this data is getting changed. So that's how we can create top and bottom end using calculation. And that's how we have implemented. So we can pass the values. So we can pass the values to calculations. So that is about top and bottom end sets and top and bottom end using calculations. So now let's see how to pass the strings. So I will give you one more requirement. So there is a concept called swap measures and swap dimensions. Okay, so let's say swap measures. So user should be able to swap between the measures. User should be able to swap between the measures. So now let's see how user can swap between the measures. So let's select sales, and I'll also create a subcategory. So here I'm able to see subcategory wise sales. And I'll create a duplicate of this one. And instead of sales, I'll write profit. So this is for profit. And I'll create one more duplicate. And this I'll create for discount. Okay, so I have created 3 different worksheets in which I'm showing subcategory wise sales and subcategory wise profit and subcategory wise discount. So instead of showing 3 different worksheets, in one worksheet, I want to show 3 different measures. So that is possible only with parameters. So now let's see I'll take subcategory. So instead of sales or instead of profit and discount, so I'll create a parameter. I'll create a parameter and I'll create it as select measure, and I'll select list here, and in the data type I'll select string. So here I'm trying to pass string values. So in the earlier example we have seen how to pass integer value to filter and to calculation. So now we are going to see how to pass string values to the calculation. So I'm going to pass sales, profit and discount and say okay. Okay, so let me select show parameter. So if I select profit, discount, so nothing is changing. So it's because I have not linked this parameter with any calculation or any filter. So if I connect this with any calculation, then the worksheets or anything will get reactive. So, so as of now, it is a simple parameter. So I'll create a calculation and I'll pass this value to this calculation. So I'll create a calculation as swap measure calc, and if select measure is a parameter. So you can identify the parameter, so it will be in a different color. And let me see, so for sales, if it is sales, then I want to see sales. So sales is the field that is coming from the database. So this field I want to see. If select measure is equal to, in the parameter, if it is sales, then I want to see sales from the database. And I will write one more condition. Select measure is equal to profit, then profit from the field, and else if select measure is equal to discount, then discount. So this will become my calculation. So this has to be else if. Okay, so here I'm writing, so when I select sales, I want to see sales, and when I select profit, I want to see profit. So this is what is the calculation. So if I select discount, I want to see discount. So for that I have written a calculation. So when this parameter is equal to sales, to show sales, and when this parameter is equal to profit, to show profit. So this is the condition that I have written, and say okay, and use this over here. Entire view and show the values. And in the sheet 8, so here you can write subcategory wise insert. So here you can insert the parameter. So whatever selection that you are making here, so based on that your name will change here. So let's select yeah, select measure is a parameter. Say okay. So currently it is selected on sales. So it is basically showing you the sales values. So if we go to our subcategory wise sales here, so these are your sales values 167380. So this is also 167380. So if I change it to profit, so in the title it is changed to subcategory wise profit, and here you can see 41,937. So let's go to profit sheet, 41,937. So you add a separate sheet for that. And when you click on discount, so you can see discount. So let's check in this 60.8 and 60.8. So here you can enable to switch between sales, profit discount in one sheet. So that means I have reduced, instead of creating these three different worksheets, so in single worksheet, I'm able to swap between one measure to other measure. So I can see sales, you can see on the title. So on the title, you can see if I select profit, I can see the profit. So you can see the values are getting changed. So this is called swap measures. Yeah. Mhm. It is getting outside, so you can see here. So only sales is getting selected, right? So outside of that calculation, here we are applying some. Here also you can write some, but yeah, I'll show you that also. So some we can do only once. So if you write more than one time, so it will throw an error. I'll just show you. So if we are writing here, you have to remove it from here. Okay, and okay, say okay. So this is giving you error. So remove it and place it again. Yeah. So here it is not doing sum again. Yeah. If you are not mentioning it here, it will automatically do outside. So in any place you can apply. If you want to apply outside or if you want to apply inside, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so parameter is any value passed to a program in order to customize the program for a particular purpose. So let's say if we take an example of the top five and bottom five. So every time instead of showing the static value, so we are passing the value to a program, meaning we are passing the value to a filter or calculation, and we are customizing the program. So we are customizing that particular filter for a particular purpose, like we are changing it. So top end. So user can enter the value and he can able to swap it from 5 to 10, 10 to 15 like that. And even if you see, so basically this is the definition and this is the explanation of it. So a parameter could be anything. So it can be string, it can be numbers, it can be date, it can be a Boolean function. And you need to have something for your visualization that is not exactly in your data. So this is not there in our data. If you see sales, profit, discount, these names, you can't have it in a separate column or something. Okay, we have created it. And we are passing these values to calculations. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to another topic. So we have seen for swap measures and we have reduced three worksheets to one worksheet. Okay, so no need to create three different worksheets. Within one worksheet, I'm able to see three different varieties of data. Subcategory wise sales, subcategory wise profit, subcategory wise discount I can see. So now let's pass. So I am passing the sales names, I mean measure names. So now I'm going to show you swap dimensions. So let's create, so let's take for sales. So this is a sales total value 23,26,534. So I want to see for subcategory. subcategory, and okay, so this is for subcategory by sales. And let me do a duplicate. And instead of subcategory, I want to show category. So this is category wise sales. Okay, so here also I'm showing sales, but it is subcategory, and this is also sales but category. And I will want to show region. Instead of category, I'll put region. And this is for region wise sales. Region wise sales. Okay, so I have subcategory, category wise sales, and region wise sales. So now I'll create a swap dimensions calculations and parameter. Swap dimensions. So I'll select sales, and I'll create a parameter, and here I will write for select dimension, and I'm going to pass string values, make it list, and type subcategory, category, and region, and say okay. Show parameter. If you select here, nothing will change in this sheet, because we have not interlinked this with any calculation. So now I'm going to write a calculation called swap dimension calc. So if select dimension, if this parameter is equal to subcategory, then subcategory. I want to see the subcategory. Else if select dimension equal to category, then field from the database which is category only. Else if select dimension equal to region, then region from the database. So say okay, and swap dimension calc, and edit this, insert select dimension, say okay. So this is basically region wise. I'll write it as sales. Say okay. So now you can see region wise sales. So basically this whatever sheet is here, so that sheet's data is showing here. And if I select category, now it became for category, furniture, office supplies. So this is like this. And if I select subcategory, now I can see all the subcategories. And you can see the name is getting changed on the top as well. If I select category, it became category, and if I select region, it became region. So here also I have reduced 3 worksheets into 1 worksheet. And now I'm going to show you 9 worksheets into 1 worksheet. So by combining this swap dimension and swap measure, I can do 9 different combinations. Swap dimension and measure. Now let's see how we can do that. So I'll use the swap dimension calc, and I will also use swap measure calc. I field labels. Okay, so instead of swap dimension, what I will do is I will pick the swap dimension, select dimension wise, measure, say okay. So region wise sales and show both the parameters, select measure, select dimension. So for sales, if you select region, subcategory by sales, category wise, yeah, yeah, Nazrin. Mm-hmm. You may, sorry, I didn't get your question. Can you repeat that? Hmm. No, I'm just showing these three different worksheets. You should not create three different worksheets. So this swap dimension itself has three sheets in it. Yeah. So instead of showing let me show you in the dashboard. Yeah, it's a good question. So let me show you. So subcategory, I have category and region. So every time user will see all these three sheets at a time. So instead of that, what I will do is I will create one more dashboard where I will give only one worksheet. Like this, I will give only one worksheet to the user instead of giving three worksheets. So I will give him only one worksheet. So to analyze, so we can't read three different worksheets at a time. Okay, so if I give this option to the user, so currently he's seeing for region and he can swap it to subcategory and he can change it to category. So instead of seeing all together, so he can modify into, so one sheet he can modify into three different ways. So there are two ways you can represent. I mean, you can also give like this and you can also give like this. It depends. So some users want like this type of charts, but as per the standards, as per the reporting standards, you have to reduce the number of worksheets. Usage of number of worksheets you have to reduce. So within minimal space, how much ever data that you can show, you have to try to show that much of information. So as I mentioned, that we can create 9 different worksheets in one worksheet. So it is very difficult to read 9 worksheets. So if we keep 9 worksheets one by one, anyways, at a time, one person can see only one particular worksheet. So he cannot view all the 9 worksheets at a time. So anyways, he's going to watch only one sheet at a time. So for that, what I'm doing, so in one particular sheet, I'm giving option for him to select whatever the combination he want to see. Yeah, thank you. So in this, I can see three different charts. So I can see subcategory wise and category wise and region wise. So now I'm going to show you 9 different combinations. So if you select sales in the select measure, so you can see three different dimensions. So you can see for subcategory, you can see for category wise sales, and you can see for region wise sales. And if you select profit, so for each and every measure, you have three different combinations. So it is 3 into 3, 3 into 3 combination, which is 9. So we can see 9 different combinations. So for profit also, we can see three different dimensions. For discount also, we can see three different dimensions. So if I keep this in the dashboard, And if I give the access to the user, so user will be able to see and control. And currently he is able to see the region wise discount, and he can shift to subcategory wise discount. So you can see on the title as well. And if I change it to category, you can see. So 9 different sheets, and you can create 9 different worksheets also in that way. But it is very difficult to read those 9 different worksheets, and you have to keep 9 worksheets in one dashboard. So instead of giving that, so if you are giving this toggle option where user can toggle between this combination, so it will be easy for him to switch between whatever combination he want to see. So that's how, that is the importance of, so with that we have also reduced 8 worksheets. So in total you have to create, let's say you have got a requirement to create subcategory wise sales. So like this, you have got some 9 requirements, subcategory wise profit. So you have reduced that 9 worksheets into one worksheet. So that is, there is one more important point to improve the performance. It is good to reduce the number of worksheets. Why? Because within that space, you can use some other different charts. Okay, so in here, in this sheet, I have covered 9 sheets. So after that, if I want to keep any other worksheet, let's say this I want to keep top and bottom and sets. Okay, I can leverage the real estate which is available in the dashboard. Okay, so with that I can use, or within this space I can show multiple dashboard, multiple worksheets in the entire dashboard. So yeah, so that is about the parameters, and we have seen for strings, and we have seen how to pass the values, pass the string values and pass the float values to the calculations and filters. So we'll continue the parameter sessions tomorrow also, and we'll go to the next session, which is table calculations. So in tomorrow's session, we are going to continue parameters, and tomorrow we are going to start a new topic, which is table calculations. So earlier we have discussed about calculations. Calculations will be same for all the worksheets, but table calculations will be somewhat different. So it will take 1 or 2 sessions to explain. So we are going to discuss that and how this helps in writing the doing the transformations. So any questions regarding today's session? Yes, correct. Okay, then thank you all for joining. We'll continue tomorrow. Yeah, Ricky.